Welcome back to another episode of Driven to Live with your host. I'm Stephen Rivers, and with me is Jesus Garcia. Today we have a whole bunch of small topics, mostly stuff that we've been driving. Jesus, what have you been behind the wheel of lately?
Today I got a actually a really good week. It's so often sometimes it does happen, but it's really rare where you get double up, you get two cars from different companies. So I got basically the spectrum, the perfect two-car garage combo. I got a 2026 Ram 2500 HD Warlock and a Mazda MX-5 Miata RF. Is it the RF? Yeah, the one with the Targa roof. Both those cars sitting outside. So I got to kind of pretend to be a blue collar guy with his own construction company and a snazzy sports car on the weekends. The car that I did drive, I used the Ram during the week and I used the Miata this weekend for going back home to the ranch. And it was just a great combination of speed, power, and fun. Because I mean, these are kind of vehicles that it's really easy to stereotype the drivers. But at the same time, I kind of understand both worlds now a little bit better. So these cars made me a little bit wiser, particularly the MX-5, because that was the first time I had to drive one on the street. Every single MX-5 I've ever driven up until now have been on track days, that kind of thing, which is great, but it's a whole different story on the street. And now I really understand people who love these cars. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. They're not just fun, they're a reminder that cars used to be and still are very dangerous because that kind of car, you feel like your life is in your hands. Like, okay, not only are you small, but everything feels more analog. It's got, the 6 speed, you're very close to the ground, you can feel everything's buzzing around you, but it's still comfortable because it's the newest technology. So you used to have cruise control, CarPlay, 30 miles per gallon. I get it, I love it. Now I'm kind of looking on eBay for see how much they're pricing, so maybe I want to buy one. But it's funny because Mazda, I've always had a really good reputation with Mazda. The first car I ever drove with my license was that not Ford Ranger, the Mazda 2000 from 2003. First brand new car I bought was a 2013 Mazda 3 with a manual. The first press car I ever got, and I started this whole thing, was a 2016 Mazda 3. So I've always had a very good relationship with these cars. As far as the Dodge Ram, that's a whole other beast in itself. When I saw it, I thought this thing's a tower of muscle. It's enormous. I mean, climbing up there, you need a step ladder. Even though it has steps, I still feel very small, smaller than I already am with this thing. But it's a really interesting spec because it's a heavy duty diesel with cloth seats and the Warlock package. So it's got the off-road package, off-road tires, a little bit more ground clearance, and it's funny because you hear the word warlock with these kind of trucks. People think, oh yeah, it's tough, that kind of gun ho type of thing. But no, warlock just means it's a wizard. So it's more Harry Potter than Rambo, that kind of thing. Nevertheless, what I've always heard about these trucks is the drivers have a reputation for being, speed demons, reckless, tailgating you, that kind of thing, being bullies on the highway. After driving it for a couple of days in the city and in highways, I now understand it. It's not really the driver's fault. These things are just way too fast. That I'm sorry, the Cummins diesel, it is super fast. It's daunting how quick this thing's up to speed. And I was doing triple digits without even realizing until I looked down. It's like, oh my goodness. And it's funny because these trucks in 2020 made a headline with the drive because they posted a story saying that according to a insurance study, one in every 22 Ram 2500 HD drivers has at least one DUI. They've been busted for drunk driving, which is, according to that study, twice the national average. And you think, why is that? It's just, no, it's because people who tend to have these trucks are people who work very hard, very long hours, people get exhausted, and they appreciate a good happy hour. Not all of them, of course, not generalizing, just saying that it does happen. And we have that kind of situation, and you have a truck that is not only comfortable but really easy to get up and going at speeds, that's a bad combination. So it's no wonder they tend to be, I guess, stopped more often. Plus, I mean, they're hard to miss. Those things are enormous. So, but then again, now after driving this truck, I have a better understanding. Like, I get it. I get it. It's very easy to fall into that. Same thing with the Mazda X5. I drove it. I kind of want to buy one. My dad saw it. He wanted to drive and wanted to buy one. Like it's one of those things you get into it and you're like, I want one because it makes it makes all the sense in the world. Like, oh, a cute little sports car with an inline four, not horizontal. It's inline, rear wheel drive, comfortable seats, cup holders, AC, cruise control. It's under 50 grand. It's why not? So I mean, I'm really happy with this week's press loans because not only I got to see two worlds that have always been on the outside, just looking. Now I got to be a part of it and understand them both a whole lot better. Have you ever driven an MX-5 as a press loan?
No.
Well, they got one, so we might ask Will at Drive Shop. Shout out to Will because he's always been really good about giving me cars.
Yeah, I'm working on that in behind the scenes as we speak. I also had a 2500 earlier this year, and similarly thought like, what the who is this thing for? Like, you really do need to be you need to have a job where you absolutely require a vehicle like that to really justify it. It's just so huge. And it is wildly powerful. You're totally right. I'm trying to look up some of the statistics right now. 430 horsepower, 1,075 pound-feet of torque out of that 6.7 liter Cummins. That's kind of insane. When equipped properly, it'll tow 20,000 pounds. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's intoxicating how much power that thing has and how much it's got to give. And when it's not loaded up, it's kind of like when you're driving an 18 wheeler with no trailer behind you. It's like, hey, I'm unstoppable here. Get out of my way.
yeah. Looks like base price for the Warlock is 71 grand.
Yes, the MSRP for the one that I'm driving right now is 75 and change, which it's surprising to say this, but that seems kind of affordable in 2025 for what you're getting. And I do like that it has closet seats. I thought I was like, oh, that's a nice touch. You don't see that too often anymore.
It
I
is
like,
definitely a work truck. Like, it's some I could see you having it for years and years and years and it not being a problem. I mean, 70 grand is a ton of money for anything, but if you're going to keep it in the family for 2 decades, like, who cares?
and I will say though, I drove it the first day I had it. I did 170 miles in
Hmm.
the San Antonio. That's highway, city, traffic, rush hour traffic. And I drained the tank about a quarter of a tank averaging 15 and a half miles per gallon, which I thought that's not bad for a truck of that size and diesel and that kind of thing. So, all right.
Yeah.
So it's got good range.
Speaking of the Mazda, is it a 6-speed manual or an auto?
6 speed manual. I,
Awesome.
I do,
100. Go ahead.
it's 181 horsepower, 60 manual, and I do know they make an automatic, which is totally fine, but the manual is just so much way more fun. And I
Yeah,
know that's not a hot take at all, but you got to do it. Even if you say, "Ah, but I don't know how to drive it," just get it. You'll learn it. It'll be worth it.
I agree entirely. I agree entirely. Getting a car that's a stick, even if you don't know how to drive it, it pays off. It's so worth it. It's so much more engaging. And here's the kicker with the Miata. That's the whole point of the thing.
Mhm.
Like, the whole idea is for the car to be engaging. And so, yeah, no reason not to get the stick shift if you're gonna go with a Miata.
It still has a handbrake, so it will rip whenever you want to, and it'll
Yeah.
climb faster than I thought. But so I'm used to anytime the handbrake turns on cars, it takes a while for it to rotate. But that car is so tiny and zippy. I'm already like, oh, I'm already here. Cool. It's going. Really shocking for it to do that. But again, tremendous car. I totally understand these cars, and I'm so glad that they haven't messed with the formula or after all these decades. And I hope they don't mess with it moving on because they don't have to. That's a good thing about the Miata. You don't got to do anything to it except make it prettier, more colors. Just keep renewing it. Don't change the formula. Just keep it what it is. We don't need more power. We don't need more gears. We don't need to. We don't need more seats. Just keep it what it is.
Yeah.
People,
Well, it makes me wish you had driven it before we had Alanis on. So, for any of those who have not heard, a couple weeks ago we had Alanis King on, an avid Miata enthusiast and good friend of the man who designed the Miata. So have a listen to that podcast. It's a good one.
Mhm.
On my end, I've driven 3 new cars this week. it's very odd for me to beat you out on that. But the one that I had last week that I had just gotten, this bad boy, the Kia EV6. This thing is a hoot. Let me tell you. It is too much. It costs too much. 61 grand MSRP on that one. If I remember right, 320 horsepower, 460-ish pound-feet of torque. Dual motor, about 280 miles to a charge. Uh, I think it is very attractive, very handsome, and fun. Like, it's got fun little details about it, like the little spoiler in the back. Like, I don't think so many people realize that, like, that little spoiler is like a little, it's almost like a little ball cap on the back of this thing. Like, it's functional, it's got actual holes in it, and it's got little winglets that pop off the side, which I think are great.
I like the little ducktail lip on the back.
Yeah, it's just a fun little car, man. It really is a fun little car.
Now,
Um,
is this car qualified as a hatchback or like a crossover? Because I mean, photos don't do it justice. This thing looks bigger in person.
yeah, it's tough to say. That's a great question. I'm sure that we could find out if we like went to an insurance website or something. Um,
Same thing with the Hyundai Iconic, which is the one the basically it's
Ionic
six,
5?
5 or 6.
It's the
Oh,
5.
in photos, it looks like a cute little hatchback. Then you see it in person. Oh, this thing is massive. It's enormous,
Yeah.
but it behaves like a hatchback.
Yeah. You know what? The Ionic, here's the thing. It's not as sharp until you get the Ionic 5N.
Mhm.
This, the EV6 GT-Line, very sharp, but it actually has a little bit less interior space, I believe.
Mhm.
So I don't fit in it as well as I fit in the Ionic. Um, and by all accounts, I've not driven one. By all accounts, the Ionic is even more fun. The in version is even more fun. Um, Still, this little car is a hoot. And here's the kicker: on the used market, these things sometimes go for like half of their value. So, um, I cannot recommend one at 61 grand. That's just way too much money in today's market based on everything that's going on with tariffs and, no more tax credit for buying an EV, things like that. But I can definitely recommend buying a used one because if you can find a used one for, a few tens of thousands of dollars off, that's kind of a screaming deal. Interior's real nice, uh, very futuristic.
Mm.
I really love the interior, except for the climate control slash media controls. That's still a very dumb thing.
The one that switches, the panel
It's
switch.
oh, yep, exactly. The panel that switches.
That's one thing that looks really cool the first time you try it, but then when you actually have to use it while you're driving, it's like, oh wait, I changed volume instead of temperature.
Yeah, happens all the time. Uh, Super frustrating. But other than that, one bugaboo, and it's annoying too because if you look at the photo for any of you watching, or I'm sorry, listening, you won't be able to see this, but there's enough space for Kia to have just doubled up all the buttons right underneath where the first set is. And I've been saying this since this thing came out in 2022.
Yeah.
I don't know why they haven't fixed it. You know what? Credit to them though. They have fixed a couple of other things.
Mhm.
They have uh they have fixed the heated seats and cooled seat buttons. Those are now physical buttons. In the
Oh,
past, they were like little haptic touch buttons. So if you weren't careful, you would just accidentally turn them on just by resting your hand on the console. Um, I believe the power button is in a different place now, and the gear shift, the gear selector is slightly different too to make you less inclined to hit the park button while you're driving.
oh, that is a problem. I do like that floating center console. Very Star
Oh,
Captain's Cherry vibes.
it so is, dude. I'm glad you said that. I think that same thing every time I see it. I'm just like, it's like you're on the Enterprise. How cool is that? I also would like to point out that the wireless charger for your phone works awesome. And if you're a person who happens to be carrying around one of the larger phones out there, it fits great. Um, and it just feels like the perfect spot to put it. It feels really well thought out.
I know.
Um, have you driven the EV6, Jesus?
No, EVs for me is hard because I live in an apartment with no charging
Mm,
station. And
yeah.
San Antonio is not EV friendly unless you have a Tesla. Not a lot of universal charging stations. But that's one of my questions I was going to ask you. How's the range anxiety in that car? So I know it says 280 range, but that's in perfect world conditions, which is the world is not perfect. So
Yeah, I would say for me, there really isn't any range anxiety because I'm not traveling cross country in it, right? And I don't think there would be too much if I was because it comes with an NACS port, so you can just plug it in and call it good at any Tesla supercharger station. And the plug is in the back left, which I believe is where it is for Teslas as well. So it's not even like there's any anxiety about taking up more than one stall or anything, you know. Um, in addition, because I work from home, like I don't have a charger at my house, but there is a charger 10 minutes from me, and anytime I need to go charge it, I just go charge it. It took about an hour. It cost about $28.
mm,
Um, and it went from I want to say like 17% to 98 in an hour. So
nice.
not terrible. Um, and if you're so inclined, you can plug that thing in, screw off to the coffee shop or the pizza parlor or whatever you want to do, and have lunch, have a coffee. If you're like you and me, get some writing done, maybe, whatever, and then just come back to a full tank. So,
Yeah, so
um,
in San Antonio, the only one universal station, which is Electrify America, that's a brand,
mhm.
which I like them because anytime I've had trouble with the machines, you call their 1-800 number and a human answers the phone, not an automated voice. I thought was a really nice detail on their part. But it's at a Walmart in the middle of town, which is about half an hour drive from where I'm at, if there's no,
Mm,
and it's got 9 stalls, half of which are always taken up by the airport, which is nearby, because they also rent EVs, and so they got to charge their cars there as well. So there's always a line. But it is kind of cool in a way because you see a variety of EVs. You see all of them.
yeah,
BMW, Audis, Hyundais, Kias, Teslas, all the above. They're always there. So it's always like an unofficial meet. And the fact that it's at a Walmart, so you kind of feel compelled to go in and spend money. But that's only for me. It's really awkward to charge EVs. That's why the rare times I do get one to review, I don't drive it very often. I just kind of get the gist of it for one day, see what I can do with it, get my photos and videos done, get my notes, and leave it there. Because I don't want to leave it for the driver to come back with 5% battery.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt bad 2 weeks ago. I had Nissan Leaf,
It's on leave.
and I could not get it charged fast enough. They pick up and drop off at odd times for me. Sometimes they'll pick up at like 9 a.m. and sometimes they'll pick up at 6 p.m. And I did not plan on them being there at 10 a.m., but that's when they were there, so I didn't have time to go get it charged. I felt bad, but anyway, uh, second car this week that I drove, and technically is still outside, so I'll still be driving it. Subaru Ascent. Have you been behind the wheel of one of these?
If I have, I forgot because it's just not the most exciting vehicle.
He's right, everybody. It's not that exciting. I will say it's more peppy than I expected. It's a little more peppy than I thought it would be off the line. Um, that does not make up for it having a horrible CVT transmission um, that drones and drones and drones some more when you try to put it on the highway. But I do like that it has not only a functional hood scoop, but it has ducts in the bottom of the hood for pushing cold air into the intercooler. So that's nice.
Huh.
It's been fine.
Three
You
rows?
know, say that again.
3 row seaters? Oh, okay, yeah. So it does have 3 rows. Okay, good.
Yep. 3 rows. Speakers in the third row for your third row occupants. Two cup holders for each of the third row occupants. Charging ports for the third row occupants. It does have a weird little blemish on the B pillar right here. You can see in that photo where it's like bubbled up, like it's gotten too hot, like someone put a iron on it for a couple minutes. Captain's chairs in the second row. This is the Onyx edition, so pretty much all of it is just black, 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 except for the headliner and the very few chrome pieces, like the door handles. It's been fine. I haven't really put a bunch of people in it yet. I probably will later this week. No major complaints.
How's the
Go ahead.
how's the mileage on that thing? But it's still a heavy vehicle.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Right now I'm getting like 15.
What?
Yeah. And I don't think I'm driving it very hard. I'm going to do a 75-mile loop with it later this week with, fresh tank and reset the counter just to see what it does. But yeah, I'm also really heavily considering doing a 1v1 against my Ford Flex.
I'd
Cuz
watch.
I think that'd be funny, and I think sadly for Subaru the Flex would probably win.
Definitely.
It's just
For a variety of reasons.
yeah, I mean it's faster, it looks better in my opinion, it handles better for sure. It
It's ridiculous.
has a real gearbox.
15. I mean, that's what that heavy duty I'm driving gets, which is insane.
It's pretty crazy, dude. And to top it off, like I'm pretty sure the Flex gets 16.8
Yeah. And
and
it's
it's got
15
a
years,
twin turbo V6 under the hood.
and it's also very old.
It is very old. You're totally right, dude. Uh all right. The other thing I drove this week, Toyota RAV4, and I can't talk about how it drove.
Oh yeah, because embargoes.
Embargo happens on Wednesday, so hopefully everybody are listening to this on Monday, but if you're listening to it on Wednesday, go check out my review over at carscoops.com. What I can tell you though is what it looks like and how it looked inside. This, if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing the RAV4 Woodland Edition. And if you're watching on YouTube, or I suppose you can watch on Spotify as well, keep in mind the fenders, the lights, and the grille treatment change as we look at some of these.
Man,
It's
I still
very,
I'm the only one saying it, but Toyota's modern lineup, like 2025, their lineup doesn't look good at all.
it's real chunky. Everything about this thing is chunky. That's probably the best way to put it. Um, Notice the interior here. Lots of squared off buttons, lots of squared off surfaces. It's for sure trying to be like a baby Forerunner, you know. And we asked him about like why call it the Woodland?
Yeah.
Why not call because the last couple years I'm pretty sure they've had like RAV4, TRD stuff like that. TRD is turning into body on frame only.
Oh,
Body on frame only. So if it's not body on frame, it will not be called TRD. It'll be called Woodland.
but what's the significance of that? It's like for a specific region or a fancy neighborhood in Houston?
I don't know. I don't know. I think what they're going for is off-roadsy, without. I think that's all they're going for. They're trying to make it an off-roadsy situation. Next up, RAV4 GR Sport. You notice the fenders are a little bit different. The grille is obviously dramatically different. I'll tell you, Jesus, this might be my favorite car with the word sport in the name because it actually means something here. Like this rear spoiler evidently adds real downforce. Now, they wouldn't tell us exactly how much, or they didn't tell us how much, even though I directly asked how much. They said, oh, well, we don't measure just the spoiler. We measure the entire aerodynamic package on the car. And by that, they mean the intakes on the front grille are a little bit different. The little winglets under the front grille are a little bit different. There are some actual changes. But what's really special is that, like, under the skin, there are real changes. So this thing has unique brakes, unique suspension. It It is not set up for towing at all. It's set up specifically to be a fast plug-in hybrid. It is exclusively a plug-in hybrid. You can't get a GR Sport with the traditional hybrid. All of the RAV4s are hybrids. So you either get traditional hybrid or plug-in hybrid. But this thing, again, still very boxy on the inside, but you get the GR logo. Brand new infotainment system for all of these that has been kind of detailed. It's already out there. It just runs completely differently than any other Toyota software. That's a really positive step in the right direction, I think. And I cannot spill the beans about how this thing drives, but I can say that I did some 0 to 60 testing, and we'll have that for everybody on Wednesday. I will say, you know, the kicker here for me, we don't have pricing yet at all.
Well, I mean, that GR specifically, I know it's got better brake suspension. Does it also have more power, or is just because, or is it just working with what it has?
So it has the same power as all the other plug-in hybrids. But there's only, if I remember right, you can get the plug-in hybrid in the normal core variants, like the Limited and the Platinum and the blah, 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 XLE, SSE, blah, blah, blah. But of course, it's an upcharge because it's a plug-in hybrid. In the Woodland, same idea. It's available in the Woodland, but it is the only engine for the GR Sport. And I think that speaks to Toyota's intention to make it fast,
Mhm.
is that you can't get the GR Sport and then the cheap, slower, conventional hybrid.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's always been a case where I never liked when they introduced, and that goes for all OEMs, introduced a sporty variant, and it's just an appearance package.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
actual performance behind it. It just looks it. And I'm like, what am I paying for then?
Bugs the snot out of me too, dude.
So I'm happy that at least they put some tuning into this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I was very impressed by that. They had a full table of like the actual parts that they used, the differences between them and the standard part, for instance. Um, and again, while I can't say how it drives, I think overall people are gonna buy them because it's a Rav4. It almost doesn't matter how much it costs unless these things started at like 50 grand. People are gonna buy them, right? The problem I have right now as a reviewer, as a journalist, is without the price, it's really hard for me to tell you if it's a good value or not. Um, and I know there have been a lot of guesses out there. Like, let's just see what Google tells us.
I would bet money on like high 40s, low 50s.
Google believes that MSRP will start around $35,000. I think that's probably right. Um,
That would put it directly on top of the Corolla Cross because the high-end Corolla Cross are also around 35, 36.
but you can spec one past 40, can't you?
I believe so with options because they have like audio and that kind of thing. Which I mean, if you're paying over 40 for a Corolla Cross, either you're dealing with markups or a very shady salesman because no way that thing worth over 40 grand.
Yeah, let's try to build one here. So we're gonna start with the hybrid XSE. Starts at 33 grand. Oh, now as soon as you click into it, 35075 as built. That includes a $500 paint job and 1545 in delivery processing and handling fees. I
Mm,
mean,
I,
at that, you kind of there's like it's almost
like
a
this,
guarantee you can get over 40 at this point.
it's like, we've been doing this long enough. I remember when delivery fees were only like $700.
Oh yeah, you're totally right.
I'm surprised all these websites haven't put like kind of like like vote straight party ticket. Just like all right, just as fully loaded. You just click it and it adds everything that they can,
Mm,
so you can see all right how much is it going to cost me. Act was that activity mounts, activity package.
oh, we're gonna do the activity package because it'll save us money, I bet. Oh no, how is it that you can click both? Because I put the crossbars on too.
That's something we should do. We should look into which OEM has the best configurator.
That's not a bad idea.
What the
Okay,
big
so as built, I chucked everything in here that I thought the average person might want, like the convenience package, the fancy sound system and all that good stuff, and we're looking at 114. So that's actually less than I expected.
38, not counting
114.
insurance. I mean, not counting taxes and licensing fees and whatever rust undercoating dealerships gonna ask are gonna throw on top of that.
Solid points. Solid points. Um yeah, 38 grand's a lot.
There's a lot for a
Um
whole lot with more headroom.
yeah. I do think we've talked about this a little bit last week or week before. I think in general, the base hybrid Corolla Cross is a good deal. I think it starts at like 27 or something, and that's all-wheel drive hybrid, uh, 40 plus miles per gallon. A lot of good stuff to like there. More power than the tracks. I don't know if it's more space or not, but to me, it felt like there was more space in it, but I could be wrong. Trax is gonna need all-wheel drive at some point, and they're probably just gonna rip it out of the Trailblazer and then bump the price a little bit and go from there.
Who knows? 'Cause, I mean, they're bringing back the Bolt, and Bolt is gonna be even better. A new little EV. That's gonna be the new hot ride for Chevrolet to gonna turn it all around. All right, so we'll see. Because if that's a hit, I'm sure some of that technology is going to trickle into the tracks to make it more to offer like a hybrid variant or an EV tracks or something like you said to just give more variety. Because you're right, the track, even though it's a good deal, it's very um, old school. That it's just a small engine, front wheel drive, small vehicle. That's all it is. That's how they're able to keep it cheap because there's nothing fancy about it.
Well, I think that's going to be the way forward, honestly. More and more brands are going to have to do that because prices are getting so far out of hand that they're going to have to find a way to make them affordable for the everyday person.
And look, if they say, all right, the only way we can make cars cheaper is if we make them simpler, I'm all for that.
I agree.
Fantastic. You mean less complication parts? Awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
less stuff to break.
totally fine. Bring back roll down windows. That's fine. We're spoiled. We don't need that.
You're totally right. You're entirely right.
I'm pretty sure if they brought back like what they call it, a poverty spec vehicle, which is roll down windows, just CarPlay, no, and just speakers, no radio, just a thing just to plug in your phone so you can use GPS, whatever it is, and Spotify and Bluetooth, people would be buying them. They're like, yeah, that's all I need. And
Yeah.
one gauge with a gas gauge, that's all the speedometer and gas. And maybe just a basic cruise control. No lane assist, no nothing like that. Just cruise control the way it used to be, the way our forefathers had it. People will still buy them because they're like, this is all I want. I just want a car.
Yeah.
And sell it for 25 grand, done.
Yeah. Well, we'll know about RAV4 pricing mid-November, is what I'm told. And
I want to read the review. Where can I read it? On Car Scoops? Where else is it going to be posted?
I'm sure I'll have some content on my own YouTube channel where some of you might be watching this. S Rivers Cars.
Oh wait, where did you test out the RAV4? Where was this at? Because I
So
didn't.
so Phoenix, Arizona. We were actually kind of close to Tempe.
Mhm.
Um, and there's a bunch of cool places around there. There's Saguaro Lake. There's a little like pseudo off-road thing that they set up for us. And so that was one of the things that we kind of worked on. Uh,
Was it raining?
yeah, it rained real bad the first day that I was there, which was the second day of wave two or wave one. So I missed the really bad weather. But the bad weather also made them change the off-road experience. So we didn't get a chance to do what they initially planned. We had to go onto like this small little off overland vehicle center thing, which was fine, but very, very tiny and not challenging. Um, but that's fine. I mean, so few people who buy this thing are going to take it off road. So, um, and the ones that do take it off road, I think will be happy with it.
Yeah, it'll reach the campgrounds.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so you're driving the Subaru. I forget the name of it. What's it again?
Ascent. The Ascent.
Then I want to say accent for some reason. No, I'm after I get both these cars out of my hair, I'm getting the Ram 1500 RHO, which is a truck that I feel kind of bad for because that was meant to be the savior for when the Hemi went away. That was going to take over the Hurricane twin turbo inline six, 540 horsepower, basically a TRX without the V8, but has all it can still do all the TRX to come back, probably with even more power. That RHO, I mean, I'm hard pressed to figure out what they're gonna do with it because who's gonna want it now? Especially given the people who buy these kind of muscle trucks, if they have the option for a V8, they're just gonna go for that. So I feel bad for the RHO. I think it's gonna turn into kind of like a bastard child for in the Ram family. But we'll see. I mean, I like it. I drove it early in this year, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, again, you still have that thing in the back of your head, like, yeah, but it's not a V8. It's not a Hemi. It's like I know, but it's still really, really fast, and it still sounds pretty cool, and it can do all these off-road things, and you can jump it and that kind of thing. So you're kind of torn with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're definitely missing the noise. And I can't remember when I drove it. It might have been early this year, but it was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun. That's the kicker. It's fun. It's just a big fun truck.
Hmm.
Um, it is too big in my opinion. It doesn't need to be as big as it is. In fact, it's so big that I had to take it to like 6 different car washes to find a place that could fit it in there. Um, but aside from that, I mean, if you own that, you're probably like hiring a servant to go wash it for you. So, um, and you're probably never getting it dirty. Could be wrong, but I doubt it.
I mean, at least in San Antonio, I've seen a lot of TRX and Raptors being used as work vehicles because I'm assuming they only bought it because it was under their LLC or whatever company vehicle that is. But yeah, you see them getting towed with stuff in the back and dirty. I'm like, all right, good for you.
That is good. More people need to treat them that way.
Yeah.
Unquestionably. More people need to treat trucks like work trucks. I had
Well,
a really great conversation this week earlier with a guy from Strategic Vision, which is a data company. Alexander Edwards, great guy, super kind. He's the CEO of the company, president of the company, or something like that. And they survey 250,000 people every year. It's like a rolling survey of new and like lightly used car owners. 1 in 3. I have so much data to pour through, and I haven't written anything on it yet. But it's because there's more data than I know what to do with off the top. 1 in 3 truck buyers or owners, I should say, never tows with it, never hauls with it, which means they never put anything in the bed. They never put anything in, not rarely. They never put anything in the bed, and they never go off road with it. 1 in 3.
I can believe that.
That's insanity. You're telling me that they own a truck, a full size truck or bigger, and they drive it, and it is used like a car, like a sedan.
Or an SUV, just for the kids in the back.
Insanity.
So,
Insanity.
like, I mean, I'm in Texas, truck capital of the world, and so
You are.
it's common just to see people who just want a truck. They don't need one, but they want it because whatever it looks tough, they think it looks pretty, or the status symbol, or whatever it is. XYZ, they just want it. They have an F-50, they'll buy like a Duramax or something obnoxiously big just because they want it.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a flex, like, oh, what do you drive? Oh, I drive a $90,000 truck. It's like, all right, good for you, buddy.
that's exactly what it is. And he basically said something similar that like, they get in it for a sense of confidence, for a sense of like safety. Like it was a hilarious conversation, and I'm excited to write about it.
Well, I do have a cousin of mine who recently bought a GMC Denali Sierra, but he bought it with the what they call it, the Baby Max, which is the smaller Duramax engine diesel, and he bought it because he has to drive from South Texas to New Mexico for work at least once a month, and that's why he bought it because he's not towing anything. He doesn't need a tow, he doesn't need to carry a bunch of stuff, but he doesn't need to drive very far, and that diesel is giving him 35 mpg on the highway at
Dang.
75 miles an hour on the highway.
He could have had a Prius that got even better.
Yeah, but South Texas loves their trucks, and he's got the fam. He's got two young daughters and everything. But that's the only reason he could have gotten with the the big Duramax
Yeah.
6.2. So no, let me get the smaller one because not only that, it only cost him I think like 56,000, which is not bad
Very, very practical.
for Denali GMC diesel.
Fancy. Fancy.
And he's like, I'm putting miles on it. He puts like maybe 5,000 miles a month on that. So it's just so in that aspect, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Because when
Yeah,
he's
I get
back
where you're coming from.
leather seats, cruise control, all the bells and whistles, 35 mpg in a truck. It's fantastic.
It is a nice blend of performance and luxury for sure.
And so how what can it tow? It's like, well, it's rated for 10,000, so it can tow a jet ski if you want to.
Ten
Yeah,
thousand is not 10,000 is not dude, that's a big jet ski.
yeah. It's like, yeah, but it's not coming to the trailer too, so that kind of stuff. So and again, if you do tow with it, that's gonna bring the mileage way down.
True.
But and again, in that aspect, these kind of truck buyers that don't use it, well, it's kind of like in the 70s, people that bought those giant Cadillacs and Grand Marquises that get with 7 miles per gallon, two-door cars. It's like, why do they do it? Because it was status. It was, I call them, the pinky ring cars. That's the same thing now.
Ah,
Trucks, pinky ring trucks, because like, yeah, you're just flexing. It's like business is good. This is a company vehicle. And what car did you get? Did you get a Cadillac? No, I got a Denali. Or you got a King Ranch, whatever it is. It's like, do you
yeah.
call it? No, I'm the boss. I don't tow, I don't haul. I tell other people to do it with their trucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, one in three. Honestly, I'm surprised it's not higher.
I kind of was a little bit too, but I still need to dig into the data. I think the more I dig in, the more interesting stuff is going to come out. So, with that, you got anything else for us this week, Jesus?
No, I will have more stuff next week because I got a press event coming up with Polystar. Am I calling it Polestar? Volvo's subsidiary brand with their EVs. I've never driven one. That'd be interesting for me. I like when you get a chance to review a car that you heard about, that you read about, but you've never driven, let alone be inside of one. So, all right, cool. It's gonna be a whole new OEM experience for me, which is saying a lot these days. I mean, that's the thing. We get spoiled by so many brands that to find one you've never been to, like, oh, great. Let's see what this. You're going in fresh.
I'm stoked for you, man. Polestar's, I've been to one of their events and it was good and the car was good. And, just like anything else, it's like we got to figure out prices on stuff and if it makes sense in today's world. But, yeah, I'm sure you're going to have a good time, man.
Very well, 'cause it's going to be in Austin, Texas, which is of all the towns and of all the cities in Texas for Polestar to have an event, Austin seems like the best fit. It's a hip car for a hip city.
Yeah. Love Austin. Austin's a ton of fun.
It's all right.
Hey,
It
they
used
got bats there, dude. They got a lot of bats.
to be so much cooler, but then it got popular. And anything that's popular automatically becomes uncool, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. I get where you're coming from. Well, I'm excited for more information on the Polestar for next week, and I'm excited to talk more about how the RAV4 actually drives. Um, yeah, looking forward to it, Jesus.
Me too. I'm also going to read your review on the RAV4 because I'm very curious about what Toyota's plan is for this vehicle because it's been around for a long time, and now that they're making more SUVs, all right. So where's the new pecking order going to be for the RAV4? Where's it going to sit? So,
That and lots more next week. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
yeah.